Hello, I'm Brian Stephenson, and today I want to read the 23rd Psalm and explain it. A lot of times when I was growing up, I heard 23rd Psalm all the time. Every time I went to church, they talked about the 23rd Psalm. It was so popular, but the meaning of it was not actually explained. So I never really got the meaning of the 23rd Psalm, the full deep meaning. But I read the Bible from cover to cover, and as I did that, I discovered that the 23rd Psalm, I saw how powerful it was. So I want to explain it to people because I'm sure there are a lot of other people in my position. Okay, so here we go. The 23rd Psalm. And by the way, when you're reading the Bible, you should read the King James Version. I've noticed a lot of things in the King James Version that lead to other things where other versions of the Bible, the New International Version, the paraphrase versions, the New World Version, they're all updated for modern English, but in updating them, a lot of the meaning is lost. So it's very difficult to get the true idea that God wanted us to have when the words are changed. Even though they're substitute words, they don't catch as full a depth and as broad a breadth as the original words. So let's use the King James Version and do that. So, the 23rd Psalm. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest the table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. So here we have the Lord, that's God, is my shepherd. Now a shepherd, if God is your shepherd, the job of a shepherd is to watch over his flock, to care for the flock. The sheep can't do anything without the shepherd. They're not going to eat. They're not going to sleep. They're not going to, well, they might sleep, but they're not going to lose their fur. Somebody has to shear their fur. Somebody has to do total care. If you have a good shepherd, you're going to have healthy sheep, good-looking sheep, abundant sheep. If you have a bad shepherd, they're going to look scraggly. Their numbers are going to dwindle. It's not going to be good. So if God is your shepherd, here it's saying, I shall not want. Now, that doesn't mean that I shall not want God is my shepherd. That means that if the Lord is my shepherd, I won't want for anything. And shall is the strongest word of will, may, might, can, could, should, would, shall. So you will not want for anything if God is your shepherd. So the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Now that sounds really nice. He makes you lie down in green pastures. Why would he make you do that? Why wouldn't you want to do that on your own? Well, green pastures are nice, lush, grassy fields. And snakes hide in those fields. Crocodiles hide in those fields. There's danger in those fields. And if God is going to have you lie down in those fields, and he's your shepherd, he's not going to have any danger come to you. He's going to keep the crocodiles away, the snakes away, the bugs away, anything else that can crawl up on you, the crouching tiger, anything. that will tear you apart, hiding in those lush green grasses. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Still waters. It sounds very peaceful and nice. Well, the Titanic sank in still waters. Still waters hide things underneath. Crocodiles, alligators hide in still waters. Icebergs, you can't see them because the water's not splashing on them because the water's still. It reflects the moonlight, it reflects the sunlight, so you can't see down into the water very well. So you don't really know. There's a huge danger with still waters. If you watch those nature shows, you see the alligators jumping out of the water to grab the antelopes. And they're in still waters. They want the water to be as still as possible so they can hide. Well, God is going to lead you beside the still waters. So would you want someone to lead you beside a very dangerous thing, something that's going to jump out at you? Hey, come on, let's go down to the still water and walk along it. And you're like, I don't know what's in there. So God is doing this. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. Why? Because he's your shepherd. He will not let you get hurt. He will fend off the danger. There is no danger with God around. It's not as if the danger is going to fight you and you're going to win. There's no danger. It's still. If there's a crocodile in the water, he's not going to get anywhere near you. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Now, when he restores your soul, you could be a sinner. You could be, all sin is bad, but, murder. Look at Paul. Paul was a tax collector. He used to beat people. He used to steal their taxes, collect their taxes, and take some for himself. Stuff like that. Jesus took Paul and made him an apostle. I mean, a true believer, His soul was restored. So God restores your soul. That means no matter how bad you are, no matter what you did, you still have a chance with God. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness. That means that he's going to have you go in the path of righteousness. He's not going to lead you down the back alley where you're going to get mugged. He's not going to take you over to the drug dealer's house and tempt you. He's going to lead you through the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. He's God. He's the Almighty for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. So, let's break this one down here. Yea, though, yea is like although. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. The valley of the shadow of death. That doesn't sound like a nice place. I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. That sounds like the most evil place. But you would fear no evil. God is with you. Thou art with you. God. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Now you say, okay, what does that mean? Well, a rod and a staff, think of walking sticks. You have a staff for walking, you have a rod for beating and whacking and stuff like that. If you've ever seen movies or nature shows in India, they beat the grass so the cobras go away so they can move forward. So the rod is for protection. The staff is your walking stick. You can also use that to shoo away things to come at you. Imagine a rabid dog or something like that. Cerberus. You're down in the valley of the shadow of death. the shadow, yeah, the valley of the shadow of death. Let's say Servius came at you, or he was there. You have your staff. You'd want to use it to keep him away. With God, you don't have the need for that. All your rod and staff are now is a comfort to you. You don't need them for protection. You have God for protection. They might make you feel good, this rod and staff, but you're not going to need to use it. Thou preparest a table for me in the presence of mine enemies. If somebody sets a table up for you in the presence of your enemies, you're going to eat with your enemies. You're going to sit with your enemies. That would be scary. With God as your shepherd, you can sit with anybody. You can eat with anyone without fear of death, of harm, of retribution, nothing. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Well, kings were anointed with oil. Samuel anointed David's head with oil. He anointed Saul's head with oil, and with God's instruction. When God anoints your head with oil, you become chosen, you become blessed, you become something that is special. You're enlightened. My cup runneth over. Well, with the shepherd, it says, I shall not want, in the first verse. So, if your cup runneth over, you're going to have more than you need. You're not going to want for anything, and you're going to have more than you need. You're going to have more to drink. You're going to have more to eat. You're going to have more to do. You're going to have more than you need. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Goodness and mercy. Goodness is good. Mercy is kind of like forgiveness. Mercy is basically nothing's going to happen to you. That will follow you all the days of your life, and you'll dwell in the house of the Lord forever. That means you're not going to have to knock on the door. You're not going to have to ask or plead for entrance. You're going to be there. You're in the house of the Lord. You're taken care of. You're one of the inside now, the insiders. You're inside looking out. You're looking at all the other sinners out there that haven't taken the Lord as their shepherd. But with the Lord as your shepherd, you will be inside the house of the Lord forever. Amen. I hope this helped you. I know it was a revelation to me when I read it. So, I hope this helped. If it does help, you see this and you like it, or even if you don't like it, if you agree, if you disagree, please comment in the comment section. Thank you very much. Goodbye.